The Telluride is Kia's largest SUV, but with a V6 only powertrain, does it still make sense among the competition in the efficiency department? Well, today we're going to find out. This is Chris here with Daily Motor, and today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2023 Kia Telluride all-wheel drive. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Ooh, excuse the wind today. But here it is, the 2023 Telluride. A couple of differences for the 23 model year. We've got a slight facelift on the front, no more striking amber running lights. Now we have these kind of upside down exclamation point designs for our running lights. I'm not the biggest fan. I actually kind of prefer the pre-facelift car, but to touch more on the subject of what we're doing today, Kia only offers the Telluride with a 3.8 liter V6, which we really enjoy for torquiness and just overall daily driving and living with. We really usually prefer SUVs with a V6, but as far as efficiency goes, what will that translate to? So that's what we're going to find out today. This is the all-wheel drive model. You can have the Telluride in front-wheel drive configuration if you'd like. It's rated about 1 MPG higher than the all-wheel drive car. So let's go ahead, hop in, and get started with our test. So then, why do we run this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which rates this Kia Telluride all-wheel drive at 24 MPG on the highway, only averages 48 miles per hour, and we know that some people like to take their cars on proper road trips. So what we're going to do today is go out 50 miles and back 50 miles, averaging 70 miles per hour for a more real-world figure. A couple of things worth noting for today's test. Outside temperature is 51 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to be running the climate control inside the cabin at 73 degrees auto. Tire pressures have been set to their factory door placard indicated 35 PSI cold, and we will also be using the same gas pump both times, using the same 3-click filling method to get the most accurate results possible. That is, if we can get around this semi-truck that is blocking our very narrow path. And he's just parking it there. It's good. Gorgeous hat though, sir. All right, let's go ahead and hop out, grab our first fill. 13.7 gallons going in there for our first fill. Let's go ahead and get started with the test. Climate control set 73 auto. We've got our trip zeroed out. Let's go ahead here and get started. Start the car, I should say. How many times can I say get started? Cool. Here we go. Okay, so actually quite a few different drive modes here on the Kia Telluride. We've got Smart, Sport, Comfort, Eco, and Snow. Of course, today we will be running in Eco mode to give this SUV the best chances of meeting its EPA rating of 24 MPG or exceeding it. All right, highway's about a half mile away. We'll drive nice and slowly till we get there and update you guys when I am merging on. Now, the purpose of this test is not to hypermile. I'm simply going to merge onto the highway, set the cruise control to a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour, and just drive like any normal person would. We won't be doing any sort of hypermiling techniques, no drafting, anything weird like that. We're simply gonna merge on and drive normally. Equip our camera rear view mirror. Cruise is set there to 72. We do have radar cruise in this Telluride. You can adjust your distance here with this button on the right hand side of the steering wheel, but I like to keep it at the closest setting because it does still follow plenty far enough away to make you feel nice and safe. Otherwise though, under first impressions here on the highway, it's pretty much just exactly what you'd expect. It's big, it's a big rolling brick, but it's very cozy, and lots of driver aids in here as well. It is a little windy out today, so we will be hearing a little bit more wind noise than normal, but road noise, not too much of that. And being that this is a Kia, we do have steering assist, lane keep assist, radar cruise like I mentioned. We've got Apple CarPlay on our big 12.3-inch display here. Seat's pretty comfortable, so you know, nothing that we don't really already know about these big Korean SUVs. So I'm going to go ahead and get settled in here for the next 95 or so miles and I will catch up with you guys once I am towards the end of my journey. Wrapping up our drive here in the Kia Telluride, and indicated on the cluster 24.5 MPG, just about meeting EPA there, a little bit above. We'll have to see once we get to the pump what our readout says, but I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere around there. On the way out, it was hovering around 22, and on the way back, we've actually gone up quite a bit. I was hoping to touch 25 today, but unfortunately, we haven't quite done that. Otherwise, it's been a nice ride here in the Telluride. The only thing that's annoying is this lane change assist, which cancels itself if it detects the smallest input, but won't let you do it if your hands aren't on the steering wheel. So just kind of irritating in that way. Otherwise, though, all the other driver assists are pretty dang good. Steering assist, lane keep assist, all that stuff does a good job keeping you in line. The Harman Kardon sound system is decent, not a ton of power behind it. I had it cranked almost the whole way up the whole time, and it wasn't really blowing my ears out or anything. So a pretty crispy system, but not a ton of power. Otherwise, though, it's been a pretty good drive here in the Telluride. The seats are cozy, minimal wind and road intrusion. Today's a little bit windy, like I said earlier, but otherwise a pretty dang good ride here in this big SUV. So gonna go ahead and pull up to the pump here in just a second, and I'll catch up with you all once I have brimmed the tank on the Telluride all-wheel drive. Just over 4 gallons going in there for our final fill, 4.053. All right, let's hop in, see how we did. Today's trip was 102.29 miles. We'll go ahead and divide that by the 4.053 gallons of regular fuel we put into the Kia Telluride, and that gives us 25.2 MPG, and I think it's fair we award this Telluride 25 MPG. Right at the end there, it was reading out 24.6. We've gotten 25.2, so I think we can kind of meet it right in the middle-ish here at 25 MPG, so beating EPA by 1 MPG. Let's go ahead now and multiply this by 18.8, as that is the capacity of our fuel tank. And that gives you an effective highway cruising range of 470 miles. So not quite to that 500-mile range, but pretty dang close. So 25 MPG, 470 miles of effective highway cruising range. Not too bad of a figure here for this big, heavy 3-row SUV that's all-wheel drive with a V6. I think this is just about as good as you can get. If you guys are curious to learn more about the Kia Telluride, we will have a link in the description that'll take you to all of our other videos on this. Charlie has done a sound system test on this Harman Kardon speaker system, and we've also done a full review on this car as well. So make sure you check that out if you want to learn more about the Telluride. But as for the fuel economy test, that'll wrap it up for us today. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. This has been Chris here with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.